we all have this, well, I did when I was starting as an artist. What do I leave in? What do I leave out? How do I finish this painting? Is it finished? Is it not? All those questions of composition and all these different words, have I done it right? We can't answer it unless we know our story. If we know our story is the birds, then are the birds shining? Are they winning? Are they saying enough in the picture?
Hi, everyone, and welcome to Mastrius for this sneak peek with artist and mentor Tricia Taylor. We'll be discussing her teaching strategy of getting artists in touch with their individual stories. At Mastrius, you get personal feedback, teaching, advice, and support from a master artist of your choice, so you can reach your goals in your style at your pace. I'm your host, Marcia Korsveld, and today I'm absolutely thrilled to introduce Mastrius mentor Tricia Taylor. Tricia is a master pastelist from Queensland, Australia, with over 28 years of experience as an artist. Having an impressionistic style, her work has life and movement, focusing on the beauty of light. Working in oils, Tricia has awards in landscape, seascape, still life, florals, and portraits, along with being awarded Pastelist of the Year in 2010. Teaching beginners to advanced students for many years, Tricia's workshops are in demand in Australia and internationally. Tricia has been a mentor with Mastrius for over a year, and her current aspiring group is working with pastel techniques and learning design and composition to bring their story. I'm really excited to dive in. Tricia, the floor is yours. Welcome.
Enjoying the video? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and click the bell to be notified when new Mastrius videos are added.
Thank you, Marcia. It's really good to be here, and welcome to anyone who's watching. Obviously, you've joined in because you're keen and interested, and we're interested too to see if we're a fit, if that makes sense. I've been with Mastrius for a while now and had a couple of groups, and I love being in contact with so many people from all over the world, from different time zones and even different levels and different loves of what they paint. So it doesn't actually matter with me whether you are an animal portrait painter or if you're a seascape painter. Being a master pastelist in Australia means that you're proficient in all genre. So I do paint portraits and animals as well as seascapes. A lot of people know my seascapes. But I think my passion is colour and composition, and actually helping artists find their story, which is what I think mentoring is all about. Yeah. So I guess I'd love to just show you a snippet of how a mentoring session would work with me. We always get together and chat, and I really love the times together that we can open up to begin with and share our lives. There's something about that really unites us, because everyone's on a different path, and some people are working, some people are looking after their parents, but this art thing just draws us in, and to have a tribe that we can belong to and feel like we can open up and share even our worries or our goals or our celebrations, that part of it's really special, to form these little groups of support for whatever you want to do.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it is an amazing system, isn't it, Marsha?
It is, because I think as artists, it's lonely work sometimes. You work in a studio by yourself, so being able to have like-minded people around the world that you can reach out to at any time, it's been amazing.
Yeah. And I think mentoring is really different too, that instead of just going to a workshop where it might be a step-by-step follow me, and you come out with all this knowledge and then go home to not know what to do with that knowledge, or you get better at your skill, it doesn't have that group, that family, that support that continues, where I think investing in Mastrius is investing in that a family group of support in your art to make you get to any next level, or even just have someone you can share everything with. Yeah, it's really special.
It really is. And I couldn't agree more with everything you just said.
Yeah. All right. Well, we might get into what I really love, what I use with Mastrius. There's a few mentors that do it, is using a thing called Padlet. And what it is just a program that's free, and you don't even have to join it if you don't want to, but if you do, it helps. And it's a communication board. I might just open it up and show you.
Yes, please do.
This is Padlet. So it's all these columns, and these are all different students I've had over time. But this is my end, which we'll concentrate on my end, where any time for the homework or anything like that, after we've had a chat, if I'd had a demonstration or anything, I actually post in here all the things we've been talking about, or even little videos. Like this is a link to a video to watch an exercise. This is another video on analysis of paintings. It'd make more sense if you were in the class. But you can see that people are able to actually chat back and forward and talk about things. There's just a communication board, and if someone wants to post what they're painting, I can critique back and forward, even questions about anything. And we just share it as a group, where the first thing anyone in one of my groups gets is this little stop, story, select, simplify, start. That it's almost my core mantra to students is everything's about your story. You've seen something. Let's say we all go to a landscape and we're out there having a picnic, and there's water and there's a tree and there's some birds. One person's going to go, oh, I love those birds, where the other one's going to go, I love the tree. Or someone else is going to want that sky, the light in the sky is just making me feel like I want to exhale. Then each person actually has a different story they want to tell when they're going to paint something. And we all have this, well, I did when I was starting as an artist. What do I leave in? What do I leave out? How do I finish this painting? Is it finished? Is it not? All those questions of composition and all these different words, have I done it right? We can't answer it unless we know our story. If we know our story is the birds, then are the birds shining? Are they winning? Are they saying enough in the picture?
Oh, I love that.
That the first thing you need to do is actually stop. Before you start any painting, you need to stop and find your story, because your story is important. That's what people actually want to see. They don't want to see what you think they want to see. We shouldn't be painting for them. We should be painting for us, and telling our story. Because if we do, then it's really easy. It's much easier to go, yes, it's finished. The birds are singing. Or I can leave that tree out. I don't like trees. I'd rather paint the birds. So all those decisions along the way are much easier if you've got your story. The next step is select. A king, queen, bishop. I used to play chess as a child. But you could have it an ace, king, queen, jack, if you play cards. But it's a first, second, third. Something has to win. Like, let's say the birds, they need to win. Then the tree can't be really strongly painted and in bright colours, or else the birds will diminish. So if you select what you want to win, then another thing to come second and another thing to come third. And that's all. Don't pick fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth. We don't need the tree and the sky and the fence and the I think there's a beetle in the grass in the front. You don't. Yeah. If you try to paint everything that you see, it'll just be such a strong message that no one will get your story. So yes, selecting 3 things is not as easy as it sounds, because you've got to prioritize them. Okay, birds come first. What's next? Is it the tree or is it the sky? But it's still your decision, no one else's. So then we simplify. This is the thumbnails. I love to teach thumbnails. Even simplifying colours. I love to limit palettes and things. I teach that. And once we've done that little bit of thinking, then you start. So if you follow this little mantra to begin with before you paint, that really helps the painting along, and it helps you focus on what you should be painting. Does that make sense?
It makes total sense. And
Yeah.
I love that you talk about, we can all look at the same scene, but we all have a different story to tell about that scene. So that's I love that.
Yeah. And I think as a mentor, I'm very cautious not to make it my story. It's not about what painting I would like to paint or even how I like to paint it, whether you're loose or whether you're detailed person, doesn't matter. It's still about this mentoring that I give is still about how to get you to think of your story and how to select things, how to simplify it, and how to actually start. It's got more about getting in your studio and starting it. From there, it seems to flow. Of course, there's lots of detailed techniques of pastels, how they work, lots of play with underpainting and all different types of techniques with pastel that I love to teach. And we sort of have a little mini vote on what the demo will be next month.
Oh, nice.
So sometimes it's skies, but it's not just how to paint a sky, it's color theory. I have a lot of theory-based things. I sneak in composition. Composition is a word that scares off most artists.
It's sort of like broccoli.
Exactly. I'm going to add that to my course. I have asked people before what they think when they hear the word composition, and it's like, oh, rules, and you're just going to crush my spontaneity. All these sort of negative connotations. And I'm in the process of writing a book on composition, but I can't use that word in the book title anywhere, or else no one would read it.
Yeah.
But it's actually going to be called Paint Your Heart Out, which I think is more it. And it's about this process. But the composition, I like to call a toolbox, because all these different things from Fibonacci and harmonic armature and golden means and color quartz, goodness, we're just bombarded with information.
Yes.
But it's a journey, this art, and we might just learn one thing: tone is king. Some little composition-y thing, and we add it to our toolbox, that next time I want something to shine, or something to drop back, or something to look like your eye is moving around a path, I help teach all those little composition tricks, which that's what they are. They're tricks on how to make the viewer listen to your story and not get distracted by anything else, that we create a toolbox. So you may have seen it in that Padlet.
Yes.
There was one column just called toolbox. And it's not a real conversation area, but anytime I bring up anything that seems like composition, techniques, they're in that area. I love Photoshop. I edit my students' works on Photoshop so I can show them how I would change their work.
I love it when mentors do that. I find it so valuable.
Yeah, I might see if I can find one that I've done like that so you can see.
Yeah, I love it because I'm very visual, and someone can tell me something of what needs to be corrected, but when I actually see the changes being made by the mentor, it's just, that's when it sinks in for me.
Exactly. And it's a extra thing to be able to have the Photoshop there and turn it into a PDF for people to look at later, the differences are phenomenal. Rather than words, we're visual people, and it's not like I can't really get your painting and change it too much without painting over it.
Yes.
That's not an easy thing to do. This is Sharon. She's not part of this Mastrius group. I wouldn't be sharing, people's stuff that weren't part, didn't have permission to do. This is Sharon that I used to mentor, and she's given me permission to share this anytime I want to talk about how things look. But she sent in her eagle, and she was a bit worried about the background, not sure it was finished. So we start playing with design of the composition, what colours she's chosen, and I explain things in there. And then I change the background and change a few of the colours. This is my changes in Photoshop. I've just cooled her shadows, made a better angle coming the other way, so there's a nice diagonal crossing, just to give it a bit more. You look at that eagle's face so much more.
Oh, you do.
By just changing things a little, and by making the cool shadow, it's related to the sky better. So they're not feeling like one's orange and one's blue. But that's little ways that that's how I critique. If you send me something, I'll play with it in Photoshop and tell you all about colours, designs, and how to think, basically. So that's what you get when you join with me, because I love that, being able to share that idea. So it's a little bit of, I don't like to just say, change this, change that. It's why. Why do I want to change it? How will I think next time I want to change my thing? So hopefully that makes a little bit of sense of how our Padlet works and how I critique and what you get to see. But
that makes total sense. Actually, I want to just keep talking and get some lessons from you right now.
We could just go through that whole toolbox.
Exactly.
But you'll have to join my mentor group.
I will. That's what I keep telling people about Mastrius is my list of mentors just keeps growing and growing. That my wish list that I want to join, but I'm not going anywhere, and I don't think Mastrius is either. So
no, I don't think
lots
so.
of time. Yeah. Well,
yeah.
Yes. Well, Tricia, thank you so much for sharing your expertise with us. But I do have one quick question for you before we close off. So what is one piece of advice or encouragement that you'd give an artist that you wish you had heard when you were just starting out?
I think it's have the permission to play, that this art is from your heart. It's not something you're going to be tested on. It's not something for someone else that you have to get right. The more you play, the more you find you. And I was always under pressure as a child to get it right. And I think that pressure, it's almost like it makes us have paralysis by analysis.
Oh, absolutely.
And just giving yourself permission to play, and the growth will come automatically. That's
excellent. Thank you so much for sharing that. And thanks everyone for watching. If you'd like to learn more about Mastrius, check us out at mastrius.com. Everything we do is live, interactive, and online, so you can get your questions answered in real time and learn exactly what you need to reach your goals, whatever they are. I'm a member at Mastrius, and I absolutely love it because I'm learning and growing my skills fast. And the community is so supportive and welcoming. I hope you'll join us. Find out more at mastrius.com.